Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. It is September 22nd. And guys, time is flying by. We're about to enter the last full week of September. So October is staring us in the face. A lot of stuff's staring us in the face. Teddy is staring at me now, or at you guys, rather. Real quick, some things I'm going to cover. Um, I don't believe I've seen. Well, I don't believe that things have been the same. Let's put it this way. Especially since the 11th of this month, I've been thinking about it a lot too, and hearing from some of y'all as well, and Mrs. Dawg, and I agree that I don't think we've been as a nation, even North America, you could say. I don't think we've been the same since September 11th, 2001, all those years ago. I really don't. In the last 3 years, the fan has sped up a lot. And I believe the next 3 to 4 years could be absolutely unrecognizable. Could be. I'm not saying it's going to be for sure, but it has that potential. And I'm not trying to scare folks. This is just my opinion. I'm going to talk a bit more about that. I also have some hope. I have 2 passages I'm going to share with you towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. But first, real quick, Teddy Man. Decided to show Teddy Man. Hadn't showed him in a little while. Got a haircut not long ago. You look pretty good, man. This one right here, Pure Trouble. His middle name is Trouble. Don't let the cute face fool you now. He is full-blood Shih Tzu. And he puts the shit in Shih Tzu. Okay? Are you a Shih Tzu? Are you a Shih Tzu? Are you Pure Trouble? Pure trouble, man. But we love you. We love you. What do you think about that? You're not going to look at me? You don't deny that? All right, dude. He's looking outside trying to see what he can find, see what he can spot out the window there. Always looking, aren't you? You like this vantage point, don't you? All right, man. I'm going to put you down. Put you down here on the ground. Go play with Ella or something. Hey, Ella. All right. So, other things real quick. Mrs. Dawg's channel got trolled a little bit, y'all. I got to mention that. I got to mention that. It was a troll, apparently. Well, I found out. She said, I think somebody's trolling me. So we looked at it. And it was somebody that had trolled this channel, and I had banned them, had blocked them. So they went to Mrs. Dawg's channel and trolled. Had nothing to do with the video that we had posted there. So there's some hate there. Not some. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of meanness out there, and it's a shame, and it's increasing, in my opinion. Real quick, too, shifting gears here, the war in the Middle East is just escalating. Something to keep an eye on between Israel and Hezbollah and Lebanon right now. Over the last 12 hours especially, it has definitely ramped up a good bit. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting, a lot of heavy fighting. And that, we kind of expected that after Israel had some unconventional warfare against Hezbollah members with the pager bombs and the cell phone explode, all their communication devices basically exploding. So something to keep an eye on. Is it gonna widen into a bigger? We don't know, bigger war, but we will keep a watch on it for sure. I meant to mention this before. This is a couple days ago. This was reported by I can't remember the member of Congress, but I think Gates is his name. Gates. Anyway, a senior Homeland Security official had said that there are at least five teams in the United States that are geared towards taking Trump out. Well, no kidding. We've had several attempts here, but 5 teams is what this guy was saying. 3 foreign and at least 2 domestic. So we're in perilous times here. No doubt about it. Not a surprise to you guys, I know. But I thought that was an interesting little tidbit of information. At least 5 teams going after the man. At the same time, the main media is running 24/7 about how he is Hitler. I mean, go figure, right? I mean, what's going to happen? Are we surprised? Instead of putting out reporting, objective reporting and information, this is what we get. This is what we've been getting. It's the plan. 10-second rule. I'm going to mention the 10-second rule here. Was reading up and I saw some videos on it. It's pretty good idea. I wanted to share it with you guys. We know how crime is increasing, both from people who are here not legally and people who are here from home, that are here, that are legal, that were born here, natives. So it's from both. It's from all sides, y'all. I believe there's a takeover. I believe there's a takeover in progress. I believe they're in a scouting phase at this point. Now, that may sound paranoid. It might sound paranoid. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I believe a little paranoia is not bad. I really don't. As long as it's not total delusion. It's not delusional. I don't think it's delusional. I think it may be a tad paranoid, but I believe that they're definitely in a scouting, a casing phase right now. I believe they definitely want to take over. I'm reminded of and I think I mentioned this in the last video, law enforcement person contacted me and said, listen, Dawg, the goal is a takeover. So be ready. That, in short, in a nutshell, that's what this person told me. And I believe it. I do believe it. 10-second rule. Wherever you arrive somewhere, you're leaving your home to go somewhere. It can be anything, running errands, school, work, whatever. When you arrive, spend 10 seconds, or at least 10 seconds, to do a quick surveillance of the area visually, and just kind of do a quick look around. See if there's anything that gives you a bad gut feeling before you get out and walk in. Yesterday, good example of this is yesterday when Ms. Dawg and I, in the afternoons, we usually run errands on weekends, especially on Saturdays. And we drove up to a parking lot of some stores. And as we were trying to find a parking space, Ms. Dawg was watching too. I drive usually. I saw it too, but it was 2 males walking around the parking lot fairly close to where we were parking. And it didn't feel right. You know what I mean? It's like when people are walking in a parking lot, they're usually going somewhere, like to a store or back to their car, right? Or they might be standing talking to somebody, visiting or whatever. That was not the case with these 2 characters. They were just walking around and it didn't look right. And they weren't walking to the store. They were walking around cars and looking at other people and just kind of lingering, and it didn't look right. And Miss Dawg was like, and we went in and parked, and I'm like, yeah, I see him too. And she said, let's just hang in the car for a little while. And I'm like, yeah, definitely, we are. And it was half a minute or so, and they cleared. They walked away out of range of us. We went ahead and went in the stores. But a 10-second rule is a good thing to remember. It's easy to remember. Take a quick look around, make sure there's nothing obvious going on right around you. Okay. You get back in your car. I would extend the 10-second rule. When you get back in your car, go ahead and go somewhere. A lot of people get in their car and just start looking at the phone. At least when you get back in your car, lock the doors right then. If you need to check your phone for something real quick, at least lock your doors up. Have your windows up. Turn it on. Have the air conditioner running or whatever. All right. Hope that's helpful. Carjackings are up big time. I know I mentioned this the last time, but I'm hearing more examples from you guys. After I mention it, I hear of other examples of this. It's young people and elderly people. Robberies in homes. robberies in homes, especially I'm hearing a lot from people in rural areas out in the country. Some in suburbs, cities, but it's mostly the rural areas. It's like that's a target now, and I believe it is. Being cased. Uh, these people were probably being cased. It was an elderly couple, from what I remember about the story, and they were robbed a lot of the valuables, a lot of cash. Maybe they were followed from somewhere. You know, I see older folks, and my parents do this, and I talk to them all the time about it. They pay with cash all the time. And when you pay with cash, you got to take it out of your wallet or your purse or whatever. And people see that, people are watching. And if you're older, especially, you're a target, much more of a target, and they may follow you home, and they may have not even noticed it. So be on alert for stuff like that. Some suggestions. Before I mention this, I think the crime and the casing and all that, like I said, it's a scouting phase right now. The main media is silent to this on purpose. They're not reporting to you any of this stuff. Very much like I saw a while ago, there was a mass shooting in Birmingham, Alabama. 4 people died overnight. Like 25 or more wounded. You know, all the robberies, all these other things. It's just not reported very much on purpose, I believe. And there was another big shooting in Minneapolis overnight. It's pretty much out of control, but they're not going to tell you that, right? Some suggestions from viewers about increasing security. These were really good suggestions. I don't think I've mentioned a few of these. Night vision equipment, not a bad idea. It's probably fairly affordable. I haven't even looked into it, but I've heard a few of you talk about it. Night vision, especially if you live out in the country where you don't have a lot of lighting anyway and you're in a big wide open space. Trail cams, definitely, I agree. Trail cams, drones, like you can get drones, even small drones for a reasonable price. I would especially consider this if I had a lot of land, even if you have a few acres or more. Definitely consider a drone. I mean, that's a great way to have an eye in the sky. I mean, military uses it, you know, for surveillance and scouting. Hey, we're being scouted. Why don't we scout them? We need to get intel on them and just not just wait in fear or anything like that. We shouldn't be in fear anyway. But maybe we need to do some scouting. Maybe we need to do some advanced intel. That's what it's going to take. That's what I think. Other things like no solicitation signs, we have some here as well. We use those, especially on our front side of the home. You could put, you know, especially if you're a female living alone or all females, have some shoes outside, some men's big shoes or boots that you place outside the door. You know, what else? There was some other good suggestions. Even if you don't have a security system, put a security sign out there that you have a security system. Little things like that. Beware of the dog signs. Dogs are good to have. Even small ones can be helpful. But the media is silent to a lot of this stuff. They really are. They're not helpful. I don't think they're helpful. Saw this story. Representative Nancy Mace, I forget which state she, I think, I can't remember which state. It's one of those out west. Anyway, had introduced a bill that would deport the undocumented people, you know what I mean, or it would deport them if they are convicted of violent or sex offenses, rape and that kind of thing. 158 Democrats voted against it. Yes, you heard that right. 158 Democrats voted against a bill that would deport them for these violent crimes. Now, 51 Democrats did vote for it. And the Republicans, it looks like all the Republicans voted for it. I think I remember that. But the big number, 158 Dems, voted against it, y'all. That is very telling. Hello, people will vote for that too this coming November. I'm sensing a loss of trust in law enforcement. Now, I'm a big supporter of law enforcement. I still would be careful with it, depending on where you live. I really do. I really do. Uh, Sometimes you just got to kind of be gray, and just don't stand out, y'all. Don't stand out. Um, Try not to call attention to yourself. You know what I mean? This is kind of funny. Tim Walz, the vice president candidate, he had a little gaffe, it sounds like. During a rally, he said, quote, "We can't afford 4 more years of this." He said, "We can't afford 4 more years of this." No, we can't, Tim. No, we can't. Tell it. Tell him about it. It's kind of funny. He's just dumb too, isn't he? He's just dumb. Man, come on. What a clown. When I see the guys, the clown just jumps in my brain. We must be critical thinkers. We must pray for discernment and practice discernment when we hear things, when we watch things, when we're dealing with people. Not everybody's bad. Not everybody's evil. There are good people out there, but we must be careful. We must be careful. Even if somebody looks normal and behaves normally or looks normal or is dressed fine, that doesn't mean they're good. And on the opposite side, I see people dressed, like a hobo. It doesn't mean they're out to cause harm. I think instead of just judging only by physical appearance, we need to be watching their behavior, kind of like Ms. Dawg and I did when we were in the parking lot. I don't believe those guys were up to good. They were not. And we waited for that to pass before we got out and walked near them. So I think a lot of it is avoiding the bad situations if we can, as much as we can. The main media is a 24/7 poisonous thing, y'all. It's just poisoning. It's brainwashing people. And we're going to find out November 5th, I believe, how bad it is. That's my concern. Discernment, pray for it. The main media, I know I'm harping on them today. They're also, have you noticed how much they put out the fear on this virus or that virus? And it's bird flu this, it's H5N something all the time. Bird flu, sloth fever. Really? Sloth fever? Mosquitoes, monkeypox, animal cracker pox. I mean, disease X. There's no animal cracker pox. I just made that up. Disease X, this variant, that variant. It's like it's overwhelming. It's like an overwhelming kind of thing to keep you in fear and off balance. I think that's my opinion. But it's constant. It's constant. They're either saying that or that the other candidate for president is compared to Hitler. The guy was in office for 4 years. He didn't exhibit Hitler then, I don't believe. I mean, he didn't start wars. He didn't start a mass genocide. I mean, why the comparison to Hitler? It's insane. It's insane. It's demonic, I believe. We need to focus on Jesus, not so much the storm. We can get caught up in it. I know I do too. Focus on. We have a lot of circuses going on. It's not just a 3-ring circus. It's a 3,000-ring circus going on around us right now. They're going after us. They're going after the kids, y'all. They're going after the children in multiple levels. That could be another video. But there's a lot of circuses, bread and circuses, clown shows going on. Focus on Jesus more than this clown show. That's the main thing. Main thing. 2 big passages. The first one is Deuteronomy. This Dawg pointed this out to me. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43 is the big one. But it's hard for me to read one verse. Anyway, the alien who lives among you will rise above you higher and higher, but you will sink lower and lower. He will lend to you, but you will not lend to him. He will be the head, but you will be the tail. All of these curses will come upon you. They will pursue you and overtake you until you are destroyed, because you did not obey the Lord your God and observe the commands and the decrees he gave you. Wow. They will be a sign and a wonder to you and your descendants forever. Wow. Wow, y'all. Deuteronomy verse 43, 45, 44, 45, y'all, and 46. That's wow. Okay. And then Isaiah, a lot of good stuff in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 4. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Amen. He does rescue us. The Lord God is sovereign. We must keep turning to him, because he will rescue us. He will. And through Jesus, we are redeemed. Amen. We've got to stay close to Jesus. We have to. More than ever. More than ever. I know I keep saying that, but it is so true. Share your thoughts. Share your experiences out there if you're having some of these similar experiences. All right. Let's be careful. Let's be aware. God bless you. I'll see you soon.